Welcome back to our NEAR Protocol Smart Contract series. In our last video, we showed how to create the basic structure for a smart contract and the basic of data types. Today, we are learning about functions, what they are, what read-only functions are, and the difference between public and private functions. Functions are small pieces of logic that do specific jobs in your smart contract. They can read data, change data, and perform calculations. Functions have a name. They might take some values as inputs and they might give back some values as output. A function is like a recipe. Give some ingredients, inputs, we can follow set of instruction, function body, and produce a dish, output. In ER smart contracts, we have two main types of function. Read-only functions that, as the name suggests, only read data from the contract, and functions that modify the data stored in the contract. Today we are talking only about read-only. In the next video we'll talk about functions that modify the data. So let's write our first function. Read-only functions do not change or store any data on the contract. In this case we have created a getCounter function that always return a 32 number, which is always right now 0. Self means we are taking variables from our struct. So right now we can take our counter from our public struct contract. To add one more input, we need to write the name of the variable, let's be add, and the data type, in our case is yours32. So we can write just like this. Now let's talk about who can call your function. Public function use the word pub, getCounter is a public function. They define the interface of your contract, meaning that anyone on the internet can call them. Private functions, on the other hand, don't use the word pub. Let's create the public or the private function. Let's be this simple private function. Only your smart contract can use these functions internally. Why use private functions? They help you organize your code and keep internal logic safe. For example, you might have a private function that checks if someone is the owner before allowing them to change important settings. That's functions in NEAR smart contracts. We learned what functions are, how to create read-only functions, and the difference between public functions that are open to everyone and private functions that are internally only. Next time we'll explore mutable functions in our smart contracts to add more complex functionality. Subscribe for more NEAR tutorials and drop your questions in the comments. See you next time.